The reason why your business fails has nothing to do with your product. Matter of fact, 95% of businesses fail because they don't understand their customers. In this video, I will share with you one method to solve this, but I have to say it before I start the video. This is a framework heavy video, so we will jump into a lot of theory, but I'm sure if you follow along, focus, you'll understand it and you'll be set up for your business perfectly. Many first-time business owners, and I was the same way, think like this. Well, I've found a good product, I've started an online shop, maybe I created an own website, and let me just list my products and it will sell by itself. This is not how it works. It's also not like I will pay for ads, get some attention, and then I will succeed, right? It doesn't work like that. Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something.
I've failed so many times throughout my entrepreneurial career, and the most common mistake I still make to this day sometimes is to think theory doesn't matter. I know it better, right? So we overestimate our own capabilities, and especially from my perspective. I'm a master of science and business engineering, right? And every time I think I know it better, let me do it a different way, that businesses fail, or they struggle at least, until I change my approach to it. At the end of the day, this costs me a lot of money, thousands of dollars, and a lot of time, and this is the main problem, right? I learned so much by failing every time this way. I understood that having the perfect product is not important, and having a risk-free product is not important. You just need to focus on two things. A product that really solves a problem, and two, a product that your customers really need and want. After you understand this foundation, this is everything. And then we can come to the method itself. It's called the value proposition canvas. So in this method over here, it's really simple. You have a left and right side. On the left side, you have the value proposition, and on the right side, we have the customer profile. If you had to take a guess, with which side would we start filling out this model? Would we start with the customer profile, or would we start with the value proposition? Just pause the video for a second, think about the answer, and write it in the comment section down below. The right answer is answer B, customer profile. Because you need to understand your customer first before you design your value proposition around it. Because now it gets really important. The first field on the right side which we need to fill out are the customer jobs. Here we describe exactly what a customer needs to do. This question is so important that almost no one gets it right, and that's why I wanted to make it with an example, right? So in this channel we started a challenge, selling Turkish coffee and starting a business, an e-commerce business from literally zero. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about at the moment, we started a community series just 3 months back, I guess, where we started to sell Turkish coffee from scratch, and our main goal is to scale up a side hustle from literally zero. We document the whole journey and you can watch it over here. So let's start filling out the customer jobs and ask a question: what does our customer really need to do by using our product? This is the main question, right? Well, maybe when a customer drinks Turkish coffee, he wants to increase his focus in the mornings, or when he works, they want to be more energetic or stuff like that, right? Another job could be that they want to brew coffee without expensive machines and difficult cleaning and stuff like that. Another good example is if you have your own business and you have to serve international clients which come from Turkey, you want it to be kind and serve them their native mocha and stuff like that. So this could be another job which a customer needs to accomplish. I think it's clear, right? So at the end of the day, it's like imagining in which life situations your customers could need your product. And the key word here is need. I say that consciously because if a customer just wants a product, it can be replaced because it's like a desire. But when it's needed, it's a necessity. They need it to do another thing or to get better at a certain thing. And that's why I can always say, before you start your business and before you think of product ideas, just think in terms of what does a customer really need? And now stick with me because it becomes more and more important. The next section we want to fill out are the customer pains. So at the end of the day, this field describes if your customer has these type of jobs, which we defined just a second ago, what kind of pains does he usually have to fulfill his jobs, right? And this we call customer pains. So basically we can come up with two questions. So what frustrates your customer? Or what makes the product experience much harder or much worse on his journey? So these type of questions you can use to think about answers. And again, let's proceed with our Turkish coffee experiment, because now we can just match, right? We know our customer jobs. Let us now think of customer pains. Well, the first thing that comes to mind when we talk about Turkish coffee is maybe your customer doesn't know how to brew Turkish coffee properly, right? So instead of enjoying the experience, they may be even confused, or maybe they fear to do it wrong. Another pain which is widely spread in the market is Turkish coffee is usually so strong and has a burnt taste. So it's not for everyone. And what I said is not for average people, even for hardcore Turkish coffee lovers. Some mochas are too strong in the market. And lastly, when we think of it, is maybe a lack of open-mindedness towards a new culture, right? Because when you scroll through Amazon and you see Turkish coffee right off the bat, you maybe wouldn't think, oh, let me try that out. So we have a hurdle that could be much higher compared to other products where the entry barrier is much lower, if you put that into perspective. So you see that the customer pains are making the customer jobs much harder than they usually should be, right? So we have answered 2 dimensions of the right side of the canvas until now. But now it's time to think about the 3rd dimension, and these are the customer gains. Customer gains, you have to think of like, what does your customers have from performing those jobs? Because at the end of the day, they are doing these customer jobs to get what? What is the gain of consuming Turkish coffee in our means? Well, first of all, Turkish coffee has a lot of caffeine, so you get more focus and more clarity. Another gain is the low digestive discomfort for a lot of people. And another gain, which is underestimated a lot, is preparing Turkish coffee is like a mindful break, because you have to focus on your coffee. You're brewing it by yourself. You're not just pressing a random button on a machine, right? If you do it right. Of course, there are coffee machines as well for Turkish mocha, special Turkish mocha machines. But if you just do it the old style, you have like 5 minutes of a short break to brew your coffee and then enjoy it. So it's a real cool mindful break during the day. So if we zoom out just a little bit, we can see that the right side of the canvas is filled out. So a big step is made. Congratulations for that. But what do we see when we look on the right side? We now understand our customers, right? Just by thinking for a few minutes about our customers, we identified what the customer needs to do, what pains he has, which gains he should get. And just now we come to the left side of the canvas, the value proposition. So we can exactly design our product towards the customer profile, that we have a perfect fit. We are almost done with the method. We are halfway through. Just focus again, because it will save you a lot of money by doing that. Do that over and over again for as many business ideas you can think of until you find the perfect match. So let's keep going. The left side of the canvas is, as we said, it's called the value proposition. The first part which we fill out over here is the products and the services. It's on the most left side of the value proposition side. So here's the main question: what products and services are we offering that is related to our main idea to sell Turkish coffee? Well, first of all, and I mentioned it throughout the video a lot, we are not selling the next Turkish coffee. We are selling a specialty Turkish coffee, which is light, fluffy, it has a good taste, it's not that burnt, we can say. An additional part of our products and services is that we have fresh grounded Turkish coffee. So unlike others, unlike our competitors, we produce in small batches. And for that, we have a fresh coffee experience compared to them. So our main advantage is that our products are not sitting in shelves for months. we have low batches, but at the moment we have a high demand, so our batches are directly sold out in just a few weeks. Another big portion of our products and services are flavored syrups, so we are not just selling Turkish coffee, we are combining the product with another type of product in the flavored syrup field, like we sell flavors like honey melon or peach and stuff like that. So instead of pulling people into a world of the unknown, we combine it with a taste they already know and maybe they already like. And lastly, we also sell coffee filters that remove unwanted particles in the process. So I think you get the idea of the products and services field. So it's not about just having a product and service, it's about tailoring the right products and services together, combining them, just to solve the right side of the canvas. And this was the first part from the left side. And now, after we talked about products and services, we have to think like, well, are those services and those products acting as a kind of pain reliever? So at the end of the day, our products and services must solve a problem, right? Problems which we, on the right side, if we think again, we identified as customer pains. On the left hand side, we have now the pain relievers, because with our product, we want to solve them. So the first pain we talked about on the right side was that Turkish coffee is too bitter and too strong. We solved this pain, so we have developed a pain reliever by changing the entire roast style. Instead of a heavy burnt taste, we have created a light and fluffy mocha, and it's the perfect experience and much easier for beginners to start off with. Another pain reliever we have is the lack of knowledge on how to brew Turkish coffee, because we are sharing the experience on our social media profiles, where we have a step-by-step guide how to prepare the perfect mocha. It's a kind of a tutorial which a customer can watch and just succeed to get the perfect mocha taste in a few minutes. Another fear we managed to eliminate was the fear of the unknown. So we eliminated that by combining flavors like hazelnut in our flavored syrup, vanilla, and stuff like that. And lastly, we solved the digestive discomfort by adding filters to the Turkish coffee procedure. If you think of it like this, in traditional coffee, if you want a filter coffee, let's say, the coffee gets filtered out, right? So unwanted particles remain in the filter. But in the Turkish coffee process, usually there is no filter because the coffee is brewed also. But after it's brewed, it's just poured into cups without a filter. We developed a filter exactly for that procedure. So if we now take a step back and look again at the pain relievers, what are we doing here is simple. You can see that we are trying to solve the problems on the right hand side with the pain relievers on the left hand side. Our goal is to rebuild the way how customers are interacting normally with Turkish coffee and just give a complete new experience. And lastly, on the left hand side, we come to the game creators. Here we don't just say again all the advantages of our product. No, we just explain how our product and how our services are adding more to the advantages. Like, for example, if a customer drinks normal coffee, right? Then what usually happens is an increase in focus through caffeine. The same way it's with Turkish mocha as well. And now here is the question, how can we even improve that? Well, the answer is simple, because Turkish coffee is one of the most caffeine concentrated hot drinks you can get out there. This is our first game creator, because the product itself is so concentrated in caffeine that we can say, okay, it's an advantage if you drink Turkish mocha right off the bat. Second, we turn your coffee ritual in the morning to a premium experience, because you have these mindful breaks, right? You wind down or you prepare for the day, not just by pressing a button, because you have to exactly adjust the amount of coffee, the amount of sugar, the amount of water. It has to be a perfect mix, and you have to boil it and brew it in the perfect time, in the perfect temperature. So It's not that easy, but once you understand how to do each step, then you will start your day just fine. Another gain creator is we are not just promoting a product, we have an active community. People who share best combinations of flavors and coffee, amount of coffee which they mix together and stuff like that. So this is also really important to get additional gains. Another gain creator we have is the accessibility which we provide by selling Turkish coffee, because usually only big brands out there are selling into thousands. But what did we understand just a few minutes ago? Big brands are usually burnt, they don't have a good taste, and that's exactly why we as a niche specialty Turkish coffee product create extra value. Because we sell also online on every store you can find us. You can find us on Amazon, TikTok Shop, eBay. We have our own website. So even if you live in an abandoned village, right, we will get you that Turkish mocha experience, which is not burned, which is a specialty roast, which comes from a small local shop in Turkey. So we are almost done, and I think you did understand the concept. But if we now zoom out just a little bit, what can we see? We have filled out two sides of our value proposition canvas. We have filled out the customer profile and we have filled out the value proposition. What you now can see is you don't just start with the product idea, right? And this is what makes me really angry on social media. I see a lot of creators online talking about you need the perfect product, you need the perfect niche to start it. No, just don't listen to that. You need that customer profile for your idea and then tailor your experience around it. And next, calculate if you can provide that experience to a price which customers would buy, so you still make a profit out of that. Every time you start developing a business, you start with a real human situation. So what is the customer trying to do? What pains does he have? What does he want to get out of it? And how you can solve it with your products and services, how you can solve the pains, how you can create extra value. After you've answered all these questions like we did in this video, you will start thinking about the next step. And now, if you really want to understand what our next step is in our business, just write me in the comment section down below, because then we can cover the actual business model that's needed to then create maybe some financials and stuff like that. But after the value proposition canvas, we develop the business model canvas. If you're interested in that, just write in the comment section business model canvas and I'll make sure to cover it in one of my upcoming videos. And that's exactly what I'm also doing in my Turkish mocha experiment series on this channel. We've started from scratch. We've identified the product. We've built a value proposition canvas. We've developed a business model canvas. We have developed a financial structure. Right now, we are making profit. We are above the break-even point already in month 3. And I forecasted that towards the end of this year, we'll probably make $500 a month just on a side hustle, which we started together on this channel, starting just from zero with nothing. And the most important thing, we are not paying from our own pockets into the business. We have strict rules which we follow. So with this type of content, I just want to show you that everyone can make it. Watch the series, just learn and follow it, then start making your own experience along the way. Guys, thanks for watching if you followed until here, because I said at the beginning of this video, it's important, not skip, focus, because you will be at a certain point in your career or in your business where you need these type of methods in your life to save money and time. As always, I thank you a lot for watching. Just like and subscribe because it helps me to keep going creating content on this channel. At the end of the day, it takes a lot of time. I appreciate all the support. Just leave a like, subscribe, comment, follow, and then I will see you next Thursday on our business channel, Journey with Orkan. So see you then. Bye.